我们的星球富饶多元，孕育出不同的物种生命，彼此休戚与共，完美平衡。当中最强壮、最耀眼的物种，统御着所属的栖息聚落。但如今，他们的王国正受到严重的威胁。过去6年来，我们走遍全世界7大洲，追踪拍摄了地球上最著名也最濒危的物种。从非洲大草原到婆罗洲雨林，从最古老的纳米比沙漠到最酷寒的南北极冻原，我们用镜头参与他们不同凡响的生命旅程，见证他们惊心动魄的生存鏖战。他们不只要面对日渐无情的气候变迁，更要抵御生命中最大的天敌。在世界各地的我们，正无心与有意地将他们推向灭绝的边缘。有一小群人正想方设法与时间赛跑，和危机作战。当这个星球上最具标志性的关键物种消失了，我们人类又将付出何种代价？这里是地球上最古老的沙漠——纳米比沙漠。干燥酷热持续了8000万年，严峻、荒芜，鲜少有生命能在此存活。但令人惊奇的是，统御这里的竟然是不属于沙漠动物的顶级掠食者。这里是地球上唯一能发现沙漠狮子的地方。它们与世隔绝，神秘生存了好几个世纪。长久以来的锤炼，让它们成功适应严苛的气候与环境，更发展出超乎人类想象的联盟智慧，成为自然界最卓越的狩猎者。但当人类的足迹入侵后，原本稀有的沙漠狮子几乎被残害殆尽。仅靠着一个人的努力，终于从灭绝中拯救回来。但世界仅存最后的130只沙漠狮，如何在危机中求生存，成了他们最大的挑战。这是一个难以想象的世界，高温摄氏50度，烈日炽热，狂风肆虐，被沙尘吞噬的大地几乎没有食物与水源。这里是地球上最靠近死亡的地方。
这里是纳米比沙漠，位在新南非的纳米比亚大西洋沿岸。面积5万平方公里，成型于8000万年前，是地球上现存最古老的沙漠。每年的降雨量只有5毫米，有时候甚至不会下1滴雨， 也是世界上最干燥的地方之一。这里环境恶劣，寸草不生。纳米比的名称来自于当地纳马族语，意思就是广阔荒芜，一无所有。
千万年的岁月与强风，合力将含铁的山脉风化成一片广袤无垠的红色沙海。万年之前曾有的洼地早已干涸，远古树木因为干燥而挺立至今。苍凉、无情，这里被称为死亡谷。要在这片古老沙漠中生存，需要历经100万年的演化。南非剑灵因为独特的身体构造，能连续好几天不喝水，还能调节体温，适应干旱与高温，成为沙丘上的风景。而唯一让他们感到生命威胁的，只有一个：狮子，非洲大陆最标志性的掠食者。但不同于一般狮子栖息在非洲大草原，它们是沙漠狮子。在这片只有烈日与沙尘暴的无情荒漠，已经神秘生存了好几百年，是地球上唯一能够克服这样严酷环境仅存的稀有族群。人类对这里一无所知，直到1930年代才发现它们珍贵的踪迹，但也是灭绝的开端。要追溯沙漠王者的传奇存在，我们必须向北，飞越这片比台湾大上1.5倍的浩瀚沙漠。
So now we are going to.
We're flying to one of Skeleton Coast, and it's going to be about 1 hour 40 minutes flying time.
OK.
纳米比沙漠是地球上罕见一边是沙漠一边是海洋的海岸沙漠。长达2000公里的海岸线，因为大西洋的水汽和沙漠干燥空气相互作用，产生巨大雾气。它使水手迷路，船难悲剧不断上演，是世界上最危险的海岸线。有个让人不寒而栗的名称——骷髅海岸。葡萄牙水手更称作是地狱之门。但这里也正是沙漠之王的家园。而在追踪沙漠狮踪迹之前，我们必须先拜访他——菲利普·斯坦德博士。
Hello, hi, nice to meet you.
It's so difficult to find you.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult for me to find the lions, therefore it's equally difficult to find me.
菲利普·斯坦德博士，纳米比亚首席科学家，享誉国际，因为他致力保育地球上仅有的沙漠狮群，已经将近30年。当地人尊称他为菲利普博士。
What's that?
It's an ostrich. The lions killed the ostrich about 10 days ago, not far from here. In fact, the lions that killed the ostrich,
yes.
They are about 10 kilometers to the east of here. It's an adult female with a young female. So I need to do some observations, so we're going to go and have a look at them. So because the wind is blowing so much, it's creating all the dust, it's easy for them to hunt.
Yeah.
Because the animals can't see so well now.
漫天飞沙，视线模糊，但这对沙漠狮来说却是最好的掩护。它们的视力比我们好上5倍，能够看到好几公里以外的猎物。循着狮子脚印，果然我们看到了它。
好，我们现在跟着 Dr. Philip Stander， 我们现在已经在沙漠追踪到了狮子。
We're on the left-hand side against the rockfish, moving up to 69. The older lioness is lying to my right. Should basically chase them towards us, maybe.
2只母狮是博士追踪研究的对象。眼前这一只是12岁的69号，而博士口中的查理今年只有3岁，是69号的外甥女。我们遵照博士的指令，在后方熄火观察。这群鸵鸟天真漫步，丝毫没察觉前方埋伏着敌军，还继续向母狮的方向前进。而走在最前方的领头军似乎发现了埋伏的69号，仓皇逃跑。难道猎捕就此宣告失败吗？
The truck we saw, they might went behind the mountain.
Yes.
They dived. They saw from the vicinity while this one was hiding. So when one come.
沙漠之中没有太多可以掩蔽之处，特别是要面对这个星球上体型最大、跑最快的鸟类。69号与查理组成的母狮联盟，得有过人的机智。
编号69号，他已经又起身了，他从树丛里面走出来了。显然他并没有想要放弃。
The speed for the lion is about 50 km/h. At ostrich, that's why he wait for them to be close.
Yeah.
Ostrich is more faster.
鸵鸟奔跑的速度和耐力完全超越狮子，但它们正逐渐被引进陷阱之中。半封闭的峡谷给了母狮极佳的主场优势。查理显然是后卫，切断鸵鸟的逃跑后路，而领头的69号阿姨埋伏着，伺机而动，等待致命的一击。
OK， 我们可以看到一大群的鸵鸟群已经往我们这个方向来，所以你可以看到母狮它现在已经冲过去了。
盘算、计划、耐心、等候，一步一步靠近猎物。在正确的时机发动攻击，就是制胜关键。
好，看到了，69号已经捕捉到一只鸵鸟了，就在我们的眼前，就在我们前方大约800公尺左右的地方。这就是大自然最真实的一面，物竞天择。虽然一只鸵鸟它可能因此失去了它的生命，但是这2只母狮它们可以得到生存的机会。
They can try hunting each and every day, but mostly it's not successful.
Mostly
due to the harsh environment where they live. Yeah.
今天对他们来说是非常幸运的一天。而对我们来说，能够亲眼目睹到2只母狮团队合作成功的捕食到猎物，对我们来说也是非常的意义重大。
亲眼目睹血淋淋的弱肉强食，我们的内心也曾经希望鸵鸟们能够逃过死劫，但人类不该干预，因为这就是大自然的生存法则。一个生命的消逝，代表着另一个生命的存续。在荒芜的沙漠，任何物种要活下去，都会是一场艰辛无比的奋斗。
doctor?
Well, this is the ostrich, that they killed yesterday evening.
Charlie and the 69.
Yeah, that's right.
这是昨天傍晚的时候，我们目击到的 Charlie 和编号69号，他们所猎捕的鸵鸟角。
Ostrich was eating some of the leaves and some of the seed plants from the acacia trees.
Okay.
Was in the stomach.
How about this?
重回猎杀现场，只剩鸵鸟的羽毛和内脏。即使经过了一夜，看起来依旧触目惊心。
If you see, these are the tracks from the ostrich running. Yeah. The lion is running very fast.
Yes.
So he's jumping, and if you can see here, is the right front foot.
Yeah.
And then that's the front foot. Then the left front foot, the right back, the left back, and
oh my God.
Yeah.
You could jump here.
And that's one more step.
Yeah.
Another step.
Wow.
Now,
so we can see the distance.
yeah.
Between.
So the distance from the right front here to 1, 2, 3, 4 meters for the next right front.
Wow.
So it's like a horse.
Yes.
But running really fast. Just there. And the lion is running from there. And the next time she jumps all the way to there. So here's the line, you stay here.
Yes.
Here's the ostrich running, and you coming together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this way.
So the ostrich is still going, the lion is still there. Now they're very close together.
Oh my God. He's the greatest hunter.
Yes. And then look here, another 4. But now it's very close. And this is the last time. Now you can see the foots are a bit closer together.
Yes.
Because now it's jumping on. So yeah, it's jumping onto the ostrich, hit the ostrich, and you see falling.
There's a lion. I think they have a very, very special skill for hunting and catching animals.
Look, they do. I mean, all lions, they hunt by cooperation and working together. And it's very sophisticated, the cooperative hunting, to the point where there's individual role playing. So each lion has a job. So for example, if 2 lions are hunting, one will be on the left side, one will be on the right side. Charlie was the lioness that at the left wing position. She went around the mountains, and then in 69 was the one who was catching. Yes.
Who teach them?
They teach themselves. I mean, it's an instinct thing. I don't think that level of cooperation develops as much, because then they don't need to. But when it's hard to catch animals, and there are few animals, like in the desert, they learn to become really clever, because they don't often have a chance to catch, so they have to make work. They use the mountains. They know that those animals won't run up there easily. So they deliberately, how they stalk is they push them towards that. So they're very effective in using and understanding the terrain and using it to their benefit. And that's very, I mean, that's a very advanced level of intelligence and consciousness. People, we as humans think we're very superior, and and don't think animals are often that intelligent, and that they have that level of consciousness and decision making. And more studies are showing that the intelligent animals are really quite sophisticated in their structures and in their organization and in their planning and skills.
And especially this kind of a very harsh environment.
Yeah, I think the harsh environments really brings out the best. in all species, you know, because it's about survival. And ostrich are difficult animals to catch. They're incredibly fast. Their eyesight is phenomenal. The cheetahs are quite good at catching ostriches, and as are leopards, but lions aren't really known to catch ostriches. It's a thing that they have to specialize on. And then there are other prides that never really learned to catch ostriches. So this pride, they see an ostrich 10 kilometers away or 5 kilometers, they hunt it. It's hard work for them to catch animals, and I don't think we often appreciate how difficult it is for them. And they don't succeed often. I mean, they have many misses. In most places, the success rate is only about 15%. In the desert, about 13%. So, I mean, they really have to work. They have to work hard.
69号和查理组成的母狮联盟，就像2名优秀的运动员，彼此合作，各司其职。于是，就在这地球上最古老的沙漠、最严苛的环境，激发出最卓越非凡的生存智慧。
So you think?
I think I want to go and just go and look on the other side for tracks. I just want to see where Charlie came from.
Yeah. Okay. Don't you feel hurt about your feet? Don't you feel hurt?
No, I get very much used to.
30年前，菲利普博士还是一个年轻的生态保护员，但就在这片骷髅海岸，他看见了改变一生的画面。
I saw a lioness on the beach, which is just the most unbelievable thing because, I mean, you don't see lions anywhere on the beach, anywhere in the world. It's a very difficult thing to describe. I mean, I think the thing that really sort of grabbed me were their eyes.
海岸边、沙漠里，竟然会有狮子，这是多么超乎人类想象的事！菲利普博士于是对这个地球上的稀有族群展开了研究，但没想到很快遇上绝望性的挫败。
Within a few years, all those lions were killed. They were basically shot by the local people that lived in the area because they were farming with livestock very deep into the desert. And in protection of their livestock that the lions attacked, we thought that they were all the desert lions had gone extinct. So I was very sad, and we were all very disappointed that we couldn't protect them. And about 10 years later, 97, we seen some lion tracks. A small group of these lions had survived in a really mountain area where nobody can get into. So they survived there, and then we knew that the desert lions were still alive. There were only about 20.
沙漠狮子近乎灭绝，仅存的一小群艰困而神秘地躲藏在这片深山峡谷之中。菲利普博士知道，他必须与时间赛跑，否则沙漠狮将在这个星球上彻底消失。
This is my vehicle, and it's really my house, it's my office, it's my laboratory. It's everything. It's like the nerve center. Everything happens around the car. All my equipment is in here, and it's like a mobile laboratory, mobile office.
菲利普博士起初也像其他科学家一样驻扎营地，但沙漠狮的栖息领地是广达5万平方公里、与世隔绝的峡谷荒漠。为了节省往返时间，他决定一人一车，和狮子们朝夕共处。
The main thing is here I have my radio receiver, and then all the data. I have cameras, and I get all the images on my screens. All the lions have the collar has a unique frequency. So with this antenna, I have a range of about 2 kilometers to find the lions. It's a speaker to reproduce lion vocalizations. On my computer, I have a whole database of the sounds of every lion.
Every single
lion, because every lion has a voice like you and me.
Yes.
Our families don't have to see us; they can hear the voice. They know who is speaking. and the lions have very much the same. This is where I load a lion inside if I need to move it away from an area. On top there are solar panels,
Yes.
so the whole top is solar panels, and then underneath the vehicle I have a whole set of batteries. So I take everything from the sun. Most of my work is at night. And often I have no lights on, and I have to find everything. And that's why I write these things on my hand. These are my notes. It's difficult to show because it's for one person.
菲利普博士的行动研究室唯一宽敞的空间是用来安置狮子。至于他自己所有观察、记录、吃饭、睡觉，甚至上厕所，居然都要在这个小小的驾驶座位上进行。
You do research here, you work here, you sleep here,
Yeah.
you eating here.
Eating, yeah. I do
And,
everything, yeah.
yes.
I use these bean bags. This for my camera. So in this is beans, and the other one is rice. So often I cook this.
So this is for camera, also
That's for camera, yeah.
stomach.
And then this is also for camera, and then if inside is nice rice.
Oh yeah.
So I always have. I will never die.
I believe that, but how about if you want to go to toilet?
Yeah, look, that is a problem, but you can do a lot with a small bottle, and you later on dispose. So many times I would stay 48 hours or so, not even getting out the car. And that is the great thing about having the scars. I can be with the lions all the time. I don't need to go away. You become part of their life because you're with them all the time.
Do lions know you?
Oh, they know me, oh yes. But they don't know me, my person, they know the scar. Yeah. Because I never get out when I'm with them. So they've learned to accept the scar as almost, some of them, part of the group. It's not so easy, but you get used to doing that. And when you can, you get really valuable sort of acceptance by the lions. So the longest time that I've been in the vehicle, in the car, with lions was like 14 days. In a year, 11 and a half. This is what I do, and I have no other life, so this is the only life.
日日夜夜与狮共处，最惊险的是，为了取得最细部的追踪资料，他必须与勇猛的掠食者近距离接触。
Aren't you afraid?
No, look, I'm never afraid out there, but I'm very careful. I have a lot of respect for them. So I see what they do and how they kill things, so I've got a lot of respect. So in a way you can say that I'm scared of lions, but I'm not afraid when I'm out there because I trust what I do and I trust the relationship I have with them. At the moment I have got 7 lions with satellite collars, 25 with normal GPS collars. Lions' expected life is about 12 years. One of the most important things is movements. It's like, where do they go? So we're getting a lot of data and understanding of how lions move in the area, which areas they use, and so that's really improving. I will put the car between the lions and the one that's darted, and then I work right next to the car, and I just look and work quickly.
It's a really big risk.
Yeah, but I never have a problem so far.
Oh my God, you are so brave.
I don't know if it's brave. Maybe it's stupidity. Ready to shoot. 1, 2, 3.
定位项圈每2年就要更换一次，冒险还在持续。更因为深入渺无人烟的沙漠，澳元补给到不了，大从防卫保命，小到修车补胎，全要靠自己。
So you need to fix it by yourself.
Ah, look, I mean, that's something, it's not, almost every day I fix one tire. Sometimes I do it 20 times in a day. One more.
Doctor, you become expert to fix a tire.
It's over expert.
Yeah, everything.
It's over expert.
Yeah, you know, you have to be good at everything, but then you're actually good at nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Nice. Cebu.
Done?
Cebu.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good help.
从黎明到黑夜，菲利普博士就这样远离人群，循着狮子踪迹，一同漫游在这古老沙漠深处。因为完全没有手机讯号，我们拍摄小组历经8个月联系申请，才终于获得博士首肯，进入沙漠拍摄采访。在这不毛之地，一个人，一台车，晨昏寒暑不间断30年。面对强有力的掠食者，无畏无惧，独自在沙漠深处研究，忍受孤寂。或许正是这超乎常人的勇气、执着与毅力，人与狮竟然发展出前所未有的信任与依赖。
Something magic happens when females have cubs. Suddenly they become a lot more aggressive. 5 cubs, and when I first approached them, the 2 lionesses were quite nervous and they didn't like me. They were even sort of snarling at me a little bit. So I sat and waited, and about 2-3 hours later, they decided they needed to go hunting. So then the cubs were close to me, so they left the cubs with me.
Oh.
And then they went off, and I thought, my goodness, I mean, that's too much responsibility. That's quite a big thing,
Yeah.
and that really surprised me. Put the camera up on the rope. And this camera has been here the longest.
Okay.
It's 12 years. And this is a very nice place for the animals to move through. It's because of the mountains, and this is the one gap. So a lot of traffic. So I get lots of really good information.
在菲利普博士的研究发现，纳米比的沙漠狮最长的一次漫游竟然远达400公里，等于从台湾头走到台湾尾。而其中一只代号女王的母狮更活到17岁。迁徙距离和生存寿命双双打破了野生狮子的世界纪录。更神奇的是，它们狩猎的对象不单单是鸵鸟或长颈鹿，竟然还包括海洋哺乳动物——非洲毛皮海狮。
I've seen the lions, walk along the beach, and I've seen them hunt the seals and catch them. It's an unbelievable thing because it's just so it's unreal. The lions discovering the ocean was the saving of the 3 young lions. Charlie is one of them.
3 of them are marvelous.
They are really amazing, and they hold the future. That's how they survived. Is they found the seafood. So it's an amazing combination to have animals from a terrestrial ecology, so inland, and then the marine ecology coming together. I was very lucky that I was now the first person really to see the hunting of the seals and how they do.
生命会找到出路，人类船只望之却步的地狱之门，竟然成了沙漠狮传奇的求生之路。这个勇猛、智慧又美丽的沙漠之王，在这个被世界遗忘的角落，在菲利普博士长达30年的研究守护下，终于从灭绝边缘拯救回来。
For today, we are estimating between 130 and 150 lions. When I first found them, there were only 20, and they were living in an area of about 8,000 square kilometers. Today, they live in an area of up to 50,000 square kilometers. So it's been a tremendous success.
沙漠狮保育计划空前成功，受到科学界瞩目。菲利普博士更获得最高荣誉的英国赫胥黎奖章。名与利应当随之而来，但他却依旧孑然一身。
I didn't have a family, so I never married and had children. I sacrificed that. But then the other thing I had to sacrifice is not earning money. I could just do the lions. Both my father and mother are still alive. They are turning 90. I think if there's one regret I have is I basically left them. And they didn't hear from me for years and years. And I feel very sorry about that. Then they saw how people took notice of me and the work. And that made them very proud.
Definitely, they are proud of you.
No, they're very proud now, but for a long time it was not easy for them. Sorry, I'm a bit choked up because it's emotions. Today I have no money, no pension, but I knew that from the beginning. But I will do it again if I had the choice. Because I mean the opportunity of this is just unbelievable.
You will do again. You don't regret, not at all.
No. I sometimes think there's something wrong with me. If you spend like a whole day with a group of lions, I feel you sort of half become a little bit part of the aura around them. I saw how hard it is for lions to live here, the hardships that they go through and how they do it with such grace. To me, that's the most wonderful thing, and I think that drives a lot of why I want to stay, and because I just can't even think of giving that up.
牺牲了个人、家庭与得失，投入了生命当中最黄金珍贵的30年。菲利普博士无怨无悔，即使未来等待他的将会是无依无靠、独自终老的孤寂，但保育沙漠狮就是一生悬命的执着奉献。他只期盼这个稀有族群的未来能如同他们的外表一般美丽坚强。当时他正追踪着5只被称作5剑客的年轻公狮，他们肩负着族群延续的神圣使命，但没想到悲剧再度上演。
沙漠环境恶劣，食物短缺，这些沙漠狮子像是 Charlie 还有69号，他们靠着在这一片库鲁海岸猎捕少数的动物，勉强的算是征服了沙漠，生存下来。但真正让他们的命运推向水深火热的，却是我们人类。随着人类在沙漠周边地区的开发，这些沙漠狮子也正面临前所未有的艰难。
原本只属于野生动物栖地的隐秘沙漠，因为人类社区入侵，彼此有了重叠。而贫瘠的大地在连年干旱下变得更加绝望。对饥饿已久的沙漠狮来说，任何活物都是可能的飨宴。 但永枪的人类不甘于损失，人尸冲突终于造成了毁灭性的结果。
So how many lions you have already killed?
I cannot say how many, but there's a few I have taken out.
If they kill, so they feel revenge. So Jerome was the last brother of Musketeers. He killed a cow. They poisoned the cow. Then he ate. Then he died.
年轻的五剑客，3只被猎杀，2只被毒死。曾经是沙漠狮存续的希望，如今只剩凄凉。这些勇猛超凡的王者，克服了这个星球最恶劣的生存环境，却未能逃过人类的毒手。沙漠之王的未来又在何方？
If the lights turn on, then we know the lion is there. If it's blue, we know it's 600. If it's red, then we know it's here.
菲利普博士伤心欲绝下，建立了这套沙漠狮预警系统，让居民们提早因应，同时也在牛圈围栏上铺设布网。
Lions is outside. They don't see together. Cats get the smell. I don't like lions. They understand them. They must eat meat so that they can live. But we lose. What can we do?
菲利普博士尽其所能，降低人狮冲突的机会，小心呵护着仅存的100多只沙漠狮，但挑战却一波接一波。
Where I'm looking for a lioness, the XBL45. I worry about her because, I mean, with the 2 cubs, I've been searching now 21 days.
又有沙漠狮没了踪影，令人焦急。而就在博士与我们告别后，查理也不见了。
Oh yeah, she's looking for the niece.
So she's looking for
Yeah, she's looking
Charlie.
for Charlie. Yeah.
So that's why she's calling home night.
Yeah.
追星的狮吼响彻一整夜，原本威猛的69号，此刻落寞哀戚。猎物就在眼前，也无动于衷。形单影只的模样，令人心碎。
In the desert, it's very hard to, because it's open, it's very hard to hunt just yourself. No, but for Charlie, for sure, she will not make it.
长久以来，69号与查理彼此相依为命，艰辛的狩猎，奋力的活着，谁也不能少了对方。失去了唯一的亲密战友，他又该如何在这恶劣的沙漠当中独自生存？声声呼唤，焦急又悲伤。69号似乎在问：查理，你在哪里？事后持续了2天2夜，我们始终寻不着小查理的下落。终于在第3天的清晨，远方出现了2个身影。仔细一看，那是查理。跟在后头的，竟然还有一只公狮。
For sure, now she knows that Charlie is safe. She now knows what is happening.
原来小查理交了男朋友。
Munyarazi, he's new in this area. It's now his territory. The last man who was killed last year here, we didn't have any male. Then we were showered lucky with with Munyarazi. Yeah, 3-year-old. Yeah.
年轻的穆雅3个月前奇迹般的突然出现，菲利普博士为他戴上了项圈，如今他成了沙漠狮存续与否的关键。
Of a hope.
Oh yeah. That's mostly why he's doing it continuously, because he want to make sure that this is mine.
"我们前天一整个晚上，你知道，昨天早上都一直听到69一直在狮吼，在呼叫查理，所以本来非常的担心，不知道查理到哪里去，会不会有发生什么事情。但今天早上我们见证到查理已经有kind of男朋友，或是他可能即将会有下一代，所以沙漠狮子的未来现在应该是充满了希望。Maybe 6 months later.
Oh, 6 months later, yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Taking care, yeah. Indeed.
希望沙漠，我们真的可以再看到沙漠狮子一代传一代。
近乎灭绝的黑暗处境，终于有了一线曙光。但就在我们欣慰感动的同时，赫然发现，查理把玩的竟然是人类世界的铝制易开罐。
我们现在要去把那个刚刚看到查理正在玩的那个铝罐，赶快捡起来。Oh my god！ 不知道是谁把它接在狮子的栖息地。
That is man-made, it's artificial, so
yeah,
does not belong to the nature. Yeah.
你看到这个铝罐，它可能是被大象踩扁了，然后也有可能像是猎狗，然后有咬破，然后或是狒，然后我们刚刚看到查理在玩这个铝罐，但这种人工的东西根本就不应该出现在这里。
我们对于我们生存的地球和其他物种，究竟要危害到何时、何种境地才能罢休？
In the end, we will all be extinct. Maybe in many millions of years later, there will be another intelligence that will dig up the fossils and discover us. And the sad thing is that our legacy will probably be that we were responsible for the most extinctions and the change of the planet of any other species. And that's a sad legacy. For me personally, it's also a drive to do what we do to protect life other than just us, protect a lion or even anything smaller. And I feel it's our duty to try and do that, because us as a species, we've done a lot of harm, and a few people can do a few good things. That's nice.
古老沙漠依旧无情，但却存在着最超乎人类想象的坚韧生命，以及一个奉献一生为地球保存稀有珍贵物种的守护者。不久的将来，在某个沙丘后面，某处峡谷之间，我们或许能再与查理和穆雅相遇，也或许是他们的下一代。但人类的破坏，地球的变化早已失控，未知与危机让威胁变得更加危险。 这个星球仅存的100多只沙漠狮，它们未来的命运会如何呢？自诩为万物之灵的我们，别让30年的守护精神徒留遗憾，别让沙漠王者传奇只剩传说。